Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Love Audio's YouTube channel. My name is Paul Webber. Great to be here today, and great to have you along. Thank you so much for joining. So it's whatever time of day it is, wherever you are, please do let us know in the comments. Let us know where you're listening or watching this from. That'd be great. And if you're new here, then do say hi as well, and we'll try and make you feel really welcome. Now, what is Love Audio Production all about? Basically, it's a safe, fun, friendly, hopefully entertaining and informative platform where you can learn the basics in audio production. So, if you guys are on board with that, as we always say, let's get on with it, shall we? Love Audio! Yeah, okay, so a couple of tech issues through setting this up, and I completely lost all headphone sounds from the desk into my headphones. I couldn't hear anything, couldn't hear my microphone, couldn't hear the music in the background, couldn't hear any assets going on, all that kind of stuff. So what I'm also trying to do is bring in a secondary camera for you, but I'm on a 1% battery, so I'm just putting it on charge for a little bit so we can get that going. Because what I want to do is to show you tonight, as you may have gathered from the thumbnail that I published a little earlier on, we're looking at recording onto the SD card that's built into the Presonus Studiolive 32SC digital console today, okay? So that's what we're hoping to do. And if you are interested in how that works, then stick around. Hopefully we'll be able to get some charge into this battery, into this phone, so I can bring in the camera to show you what I'm doing on the desk. Otherwise, there's absolutely no point. Unless we can bring up the software, which should hopefully then mirror what we're doing on screen. So let me just try that whilst we're waiting for the phone battery to recharge, okay? So it's called Universal Control, and what this does is it kind of mirrors what the Studiolive 32SC desk is doing visually, so that's really cool. And if I get it up on screen, I will be able to show you how we're going to do that. So give me 2 seconds while we sort that out. There we go. So that's channel 1. We don't want channel 1, we want channel 9, which is the desk mic. There we go. There, channel 9. Perfect. Okay, cool. So let me just show you what we're doing here so you can see on screen exactly how that works. This is the software that I'm talking about. Okay, so if you're looking at the screen right now, you're seeing an image there moving around the screen. This is the Universal Control software that comes with. There is an update. I'm not going to update it because you know that you shouldn't update during a live stream or even before it, so I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is go to Settings, and there should be an option for SD card. Okay, so network, blah, 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 fat channel, just having a look here, making sure I can see what's going on. Not going to check the firmware because that'll send things into a spin as well, so not going to do that either. Network, yep, that's fine. Remote in-out setup. Backup, no. Plugins, no. User profiles, right, okay. That's all fine. Excuse me. Digital patching, yeah, that all went wrong earlier on, and part of the reason for kind of tweaking the audio is the fact that all of these kind of got mixed up. So I've had to do kind of a reset here. SD card, here we go. Okay. Assign channel 33 to 34 to flex mix 15 and 16. I have no clue what that means. Assign channel 1 and 2. That's AES. I don't need to worry about that. Let's go here and let's go main, left, and right. Now, hopefully you can still hear me, which is cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's good. Okay. I want to check because every time I do something on the screen or on the desk, it messes up all my settings. So I really don't want that to happen. So fingers crossed. When we press the sound check for the SD card, if we go there instead, so we'll go there and click New Session. And then click Create. You guys can't see that just yet. Let me try and find a visual of that somewhere. Hang on a second. Yeah, there you go. So what happened then was all the channels went to the SD card input instead of to the desk, which is exactly what happened earlier on, and everything went Pete Tong, as they say. Let me see if I can get some. We've got some juice on here now. Yeah, we got 8%. That might be okay. If I keep it charged as well, that should be okay. I'm going to just hold, I was going to put the camera, or the phone anyway, into a holder, which is just here. So it's hovering over the desk, but I've worked out that if I need to have it still on charge, that's not going to be possible. So I'm going to remove that, get it out of the way, and I'll use kind of a handheld method instead, and we should be okay with that. So just going to hopefully start the machine up if it will work. Hello? There we go. Samsung. Okay. This might take a while to reboot, so talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, do you like the flashy new rainbow kind of box here? Obviously, that'll have text in it eventually, and there's a different one with a frame on it as well, and side-by-side pip and all that kind of stuff going on as well. But yeah, downloaded that recently, so thanks to David for creating all of that stuff for free. Well done. There's also a timer as well, but I daren't mess with that because we like our timer currently, and I don't want to mess it up. So we're going to stick with what we got, right? I'm going to close that software down because that's clearly not what we're looking for. It doesn't show anything on the screen with regards to the SD card, so I will close that down and I will do an update for it as and when. I'm not going to do it just yet, as I say, because you should not update software during a live performance. Let's take a look and see who's in the chat anyway, first of all. Okay, so what we have here is we've got Rob Thomas coming in twice. Rob Thomas came in first of all with his usual channel, and then he came in with a thing called Talk to Rob Thomas. It's got things set up on his mobile so he can listen away from home, which is really cool. Hugh Demand, otherwise known as Whit Profit, is talking to himself while ... So yeah, thanks for joining, both of you. Excuse me. So what we're doing tonight is looking at the SD card of the Presonus Studiolive 32SC digital console. And what I'm going to do is bring that up on screen on the phone camera so that you guys can see that and see what we're doing. And then I'll prove that it works by transferring the SD card to my laptop and then playing the laptop through the desk. Does that make sense? So you guys can actually see that we can transport audio from the SD card onto a different platform, for instance, or onto a different machine, okay? So what we have here is the phone trying to reboot, which is fine, and only 10% charge. So, yeah, we'll just keep an eye on that, make sure it doesn't kind of play up. And, of course, because I'm using NDI, let's swap the camera around so I can do that. So there we go. Okay, brilliant. So what I'm going to do is hold it for you and then show you what's going on screen. So if I press the NDI button there, we should have NDI coming in, but only if it's on the right Wi-Fi section. It isn't, so give me 2 seconds while I swap that. There we go. Okay, and we now should have a live signal coming in, like 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're in. Which camera is it using? That one. Okay. So this is the setup currently, as you see. I'm in the preview window there on the left. But what I wanted to show you was this. So the SD card is just there. Okay. So where's my finger? There we go. So just there. So you've got an SD card here, and it's one. This is an adapter. So if we come out of that section for just 1 second, and then I can undo that. So this is what you've got here. This is like the adapter for it. So you've got a tiny memory card in there, and it's a 32 gigabyte storage space. Okay, that's a micro SD adapter, and we're just going to plug that into the desk right there. Push it in. That's perfect, and then go over to edit, and then you'll see here that this is getting things ready for a new session called Me 4, Me brackets 4. That's at the top there on the screen, okay? Now, it asks you which channels you want to arm and record, okay? So what you can do is you can do all. So that means every single channel is now armed to the SD card, which we don't want because I did a speed test on it earlier, and it's only this particular disc is only going to record 13 tracks at a time. So what I want to do is select And then it brings up this window here. So you can then use either the board, and you'll see that the lights are flashing on the board there, so that indicates where you want to select which channels. So I'm going to select desk, which is channel 9. And I'm also going to select, let's have a look, what should we do? Yeah, let's put the lav mic on, and then click that on as well. And then we're going to select the lav mic as well. Okay, so you've got 2 mics coming in now. As long as I put the fader up, of course, you should be able to hear that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. Get the lav mic up. Let's unmute that and bring that up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now that's picking up a lot of interference, isn't it? I can hear that. Something is buzzing. Yeah, probably would do. Let's have a look. What's going on here? Where's the oh, there it is. Okay, I got it. So you can now hear the lav mic as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the lav mic. Okay, so bringing that in, as well as the desk mic here, which is the big one, the Behringer C1, 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 C1. There you go. Sorry for the shaky cam. We're going to go back over here to the SD card, and we've selected the channels that we want. Okay. Let's have a look here. So now we go to tape. All right. So new session. Create. It says, please wait. Do not remove SD card. Okay, we won't. Thank you very much. So once that's done that, of course, what we do now is select those channels again. So we want to select desk 9 and the lav mic. So both of those are selected now, which is cool. And then go back to there. And this brings up this window here. So we are now ready. The tracks are armed and it's at 0 and it's called Me5. So we're looking for the files that say Me5. Once we press record on here, it will record anything that's coming through the desk on those channels that we've selected, and that will glow red to lock the record session, okay? So we'll just wait for that 1 second, and we'll press record. So here we go. This is a test now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we are now recording onto the SD card, and this will record in mono, of course, on each of the channels that we've armed. And don't forget, we've armed 2 channels currently. So we're on the desk mic, which is there, and the lav mic, which is on channel 15, okay? So those are all got levels coming in, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, those are all coming in nicely. And we're just going to record for maybe 30 seconds or so, just to make sure we've got some audio to play back with. And as you can notice there, that of course is glowing red now. The record lock is on. And whatever happens, I can't press stop, play, rewind, whatever on the desk because that is locked. Now, until we unlock that, we can't do anything with those buttons there with the master control. Okay? So, what we're going to do is click unlock record, press stop, and you'll notice that that's done now. Okay? So we've got about 59 seconds of recorded audio onto the hard drive. What we need to do next, though, is save and close. Okay, so let's let that focus a second. Focus, there we go. So save and close. Please wait, do not remove SD card. There we go. So that's done now. And as you say there, look, the transfer rate is 4,360 kilobits per second, and it can record up to 13 tracks with this particular disc. You know, you can get better discs than that can perform better, and you should be able to record 32 tracks of digital audio onto the SD card just there, okay? That's the plan. So what we're going to do now is take out the SD card, like so, okay? And we're going to come down to the laptop. So what I'm going to do is clip that. Oops. In a second, guys. Let's go there for a second so you can see what's going on. So what I'm going to do is clip this to this so you can still hear me when I'm kind of going down to the laptop, which is on the table just underneath here. Okay. So if I clip that to my jumper. You should be able to still hear me, still hear the audio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's mute the other channel so that's not coming through the microphone now. That's brilliant. The proof is in the pudding, says Whip Profit. Well done, sir. You're absolutely right. So what I'm going to do is, again, swap over to the digital camera on the phone. And we're going to come down here. Press the laptop on so it starts up. Get the right password. So it's unlocked now, which is brilliant. So what I need to do is remove the SD, the mini SD, of course, from the adapter. And then on the side of my machine here, you'll see a little tiny gap there. Okay, there it is. Going to put that in now. That automatically brings up the files that we recorded onto the SD card. Now, if you remember, our session was Me 5, okay? So let's just make sure we've got some volume coming through there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How's that? Is that a bit better? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's better. Okay, you guys can hear me now, yeah? Cool. Okay. So we come down here and we click on Me 5. And that brings up 3 different files, not quite sure what they mean. It's a configuration file, a scan file, and a capture file. Capture is the software that comes with Presonus, and you can use that to record as well, okay? So what we're going to go to is audio. And don't forget, we've only recorded tracks 9 and 15. Do you remember that? So track 9 is there. Track 15 is there. I'm going to press 9. Okay. I'm going to press pause for a second because what I want to do is come up to the desk now, and I'm going to bring in 13 and 14, I believe was the so let's turn that down slightly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 13 and 14, it's labeled as the Denon on the desk, just there. 13 and 14, and if I press play on the laptop. Okay, so we are now recording onto the SD card. And this will record in mono, of course, on each of the channels that we've armed. And don't forget, we've armed 2 channels currently. So we're on the desk mic, which is there, and the lav mic, which is on channel 15. Okay? So those are all got levels coming in, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, those are all coming in nicely. And we're just going to record 30 seconds or so, just to make sure we've got some audio to play back with. So and as you can notice there, that of course is glowing red now. The record lock is on. And whatever happens, I can't press stop, play, rewind, whatever on the desk because that is locked. Now, until we unlock that, we can't do anything with those buttons there with the master control. Okay? So, what we're going to do is click unlock record. And that's the end of the recording, folks. So what I'm going to do now is again, go down to the laptop and we'll press channel 15 because we recorded that as well, don't forget. Okay? And we're now recording on wait, where's that coming from? Wow. Can you hear that? That's the recording we made with the lavalier mic. Earlier. So those are all got levels coming in. It's upside down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 2, 1. It's a little faint, obviously, because we didn't get it close to us. But you can tell that it's recorded the 2 different channels. Should come up on that channel in a second. It's glowing red now. And whatever happens, I can't press stop, play, rewind, whatever, the desk, because that is locked. Until we unlock that, can't do anything with those buttons there. Okay? So, unlock record. Yeah, so you can tell that that's obviously a different recording, but certainly that's worked. So that's given us 2 channels that we asked to record and play them back on a different machine that's coming through the laptop. So that was a completely different machine. Using the SD card that we took out of the Presonus desk, okay? So I'm going to just release that card once again. And I'm going to put it back into the adapter like so, and then put that back into the machine on the desk itself. Okay, so that SD card is now back in the desk. Yeah, that worked. So yeah, the SD card is now back in its slot just there, look, as you can see. And that's the live recording. That C stands for the capture software, and the logo next to it, of course, is the SDHC. You can get HX SD cards, which are better, faster, higher resolution, I guess you could call it, or definitely higher storage as well. Okay, so if we go to edit, we go load session, Me 5, load session, load session, Me 5. Do not remove SD card while we do that. So we're just waiting for that to happen. And there we go. Once that's in, we should be able to play that. So Me 5. We press play. And it's playing audio, but I have no idea where it comes up on the desk. That's way above my pay grade. I have honestly no clue where that comes up on the desk. But it is playing, as you can tell. So the audio is in there. And yeah, I just need to kind of find out how to get the audio from that onto the desk somewhere and play it back. But you get the idea. So we'll stop that for now. We'll go save and close. It always says please wait. So that's cool. And there we go. So yeah, that's kind of an overview really of how you can record onto the SD card in the Studiolive 32SC desk, and then migrate that if you need to into a different machine. So maybe you've got a production machine and you want to bring it in via that, and it breaks down all of the tracks into individual tracks. Okay, so you can then, let's say for instance you were recording a band, using maybe 10, 15, 20 tracks on the desk. You could record the whole session, okay? And don't forget you've got 32 gigs, so it's got quite a lot of storage space on there. So once you've done that and you wanted to edit it on a different machine, for instance, okay, you can then take the SD card out of there, take it back to the studio, and then mix what you've recorded as a live session, perhaps. Something like that. So, yeah, there we go. I hope that was useful for you. If you're watching this on the playback, then please do give us a thumbs up, give us a like. Hello to Danny Davis. Good evening to you, sir. You've joined the stream. Thank you so much. Well done. I love the fact that, Whit says the proof is in the pudding. You're absolutely right. Thank you. And found out that we actually did what we were supposed to be doing. I had to try this tonight because I have to confess, I did some recording a while back, but didn't really pay much attention to how I did it and how I brought it back in and stuff like that. So that was quite interesting. And, having to tweak the audio tonight as well, because when you put the sound card in, well, not the sound card, I beg your pardon, when you put the SD card in and start recording, it automatically sends all of your sends to the SD card. So I couldn't hear a thing because it's sending all the stuff to the SD card and I'm not monitoring the SD card, which was really odd. And it's not, the settings on the desk aren't quite right yet, but I've managed to get the audio back so I can hear myself. I can hear the live stream. I can hear the bits and pieces on the show as well. So that was quite interesting. Danny says, I'm cooking dinner while got you on. Brilliant stuff. All right. Well, I hope you found it interesting anyway. And certainly those that own one of these desks, the Studiolive 32SC 32 channel professional digital mix system, to give it its full name, by Presonus, then hopefully you'll find that really useful for, hopefully recording sessions. I know that last week we had a viewer on that was asking about that. And so hopefully the demonstration tonight was enough to kind of give you that information about how that works. Like I say, it's not perfect explanation about how it works, but certainly you can see that, you know, you can migrate tracks, you can record tracks, you can select as many tracks as you like. In our case, up to 13 tracks, but in most cases, if you get a decent transfer rate on your SD card, then you're going to be able to record at least 32 tracks of digital audio from the desk, and then pipe it into a different system, and then do the editing there if you wish. So that's pretty cool, I think. If you have any questions, by the way, please do drop them into the chat. Love to be able to give you some help. Hugh Demand, otherwise known as Whip Profit, says, thanks, Paul, another insight. Thank you so much. I know that, you know, not everybody owns one of these desks because they are massive and it's a little overkill for live streaming, certainly. But, you know, let's kind of give you the above the desk shot as well from the NDI perspective. So yeah, this is the I've got to keep it plugged in because it's otherwise losing its charge. So this is the main interface. We've got it on auxiliary 7 currently, so let's switch to desk. So that's the desk that comes up. So you've got the EQ, which is controlling the volume of my voice on channel 9, which is the desk mic. Volume is there, of course. So if I drop that down, you'll notice that my brings it back up like that. So again, you know, you've got full control over the audio, which is great. And, you know, 32 tracks. If I put it onto the main setting, so here we go. So channels 1 and 2, 3 and 4 are blank. Booth mic was 5. I've taken it out of the booth now, so it's not there anymore. 6, 7, and 8 are blank. 9 is the desk mic that you're currently hearing. 10 is for a spare microphone that's plugged in. The DAW out, so in other words, if we're doing audio editing and I want to listen to what's coming back to me from the DAW, the digital audio workstation, then that's what comes up on 11 and 12. As you can see, they're panned left and right, so that indicates it's a stereo channel, okay? That's what those two strips mean. And then you've got the Denon DJ sections, again, left and right, panned left and right. Then you've got 15 and 16. The lav mic is 15, blank is 16. And then you go over here and page across to next. See what happens? 17, 18, 19, 20, all the way through there like that to 32. And then if you scroll across again, you've then got your FX returns, okay? Which are those faders there. So when I put this on like this, you can probably hear some echo. That's because we've got, let's move that out of the way slightly. So we've got these here. So I can control the level of echo coming down to you, so I can bring them right down like that. So those 4 are now really, really low down. And if I bring those up like that, you've got full control over how much volume, reverb, whatever is coming back to your recording session or the stage area or whatever, okay? So there we go. Everything I'm sending to you is coming down mix 7 and 8. That's why those 2 are lit. There we go. When it focuses, come on. There we go. So mix 7 and 8, you can see is lit yellow. That's what I've got coming down to you. The reason that we've got echo on is because these are not muted. So if I mute them now, you'll notice that there's absolutely no echo on there now at all, okay? But I can bring 1 or 2 up. So that's FXB. So if I put the fader up for FXB, which is here, then you can hear that kind of, hello, I'm in the bath and I'm singing, you know, that kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. Let's turn that off and then bring on A. So this is A. This is quite a long tail reverb. Boom, boom, check, check. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in the sight of these people on the chat to bring you audio production for beginners. So we'll mute A and we'll bring on C. C is another long tail reverb. And if we want to know what that looks like, we just press one of these down here. So for instance, we've unmuted C. So let's go to C on the desk when it focuses. Come on. Focus. Focus on me. Focus. There we go. Okay, brilliant. So, so we'll click C, and automatically on the display on the desk, that shows you that we've got a PAE 16 digital reverb. Okay? There are a number of presets on here, so let's have a play with some of these. That's on number 1, which is rock, snare, hall. So that will be for a snare drum in quite a large hall, I would imagine, right? So, change it to number 2. You've got a Studiolive room. Studiolive room, okay? So it's a lot narrower than that previous room. Preset 3 is a large guitar hall. So close up, you've got hardly any echo at all. But then at the back of the room, you've got that reverb going on, okay? Number 4 is drums AMS1. No idea what that means. 5, vocal doubler. So you can hear that it's got some kind of, how can I describe it? Some kind of delay, but it's a very, very tiny delay, and it's doubling up on my voice, okay? So hopefully you can hear that. Excuse me. And then we've got 6, which is a small hall. That's fine. 7 would be a darker room. Now this sounds like it's in some kind of basement, doesn't it? So you've walked downstairs, you're looking for something in the basement. You've got your flashlight on, and yeah, like that. So that's that. And then 8, you've got a slap room. So that's like what you call a slap delay. Hear that? So that's a very short room, and the sound will be reverberating off of the back of the room like that. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so we'll put it back on 1, which gives us that really long hall type of reverb. Okay, and you can change these, of course, by scrolling up and down with the jog wheel here. So those are the ones that we experienced. We'll keep it on rock, snare, hall. So that's just on C. So we'll mute C now. So no echo effect on that at all. Go to D, and you've got the delay. So we'll unmute delay, and you can hear that delay, like that kind of rock and roll, sound that you get. Yeah. Well, since my baby left me, I got a new place to dwell. Yeah. Sorry, I just couldn't resist. Yeah, honey. What's up? So you've got the delay, and again, you're going to have different presets on here as well, which is cool, and you can tweak all of the settings on here. Tap assign. So, in other words, you can tap this according to the delay beat that you want. So, for instance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now it's doing kind of 1 every 2 seconds or whatever, or milliseconds, which is cool. And drop-down menu, we can choose from any of these different, what do you call them? Plugins, which come part of the mixing desk itself, okay? So, for instance, if we were to go for, let's go for a vintage plate reverb, okay? So we'll click that. Oh. So now we've got a vintage plate reverb on the preset here. You see that? And again, you've got different presets here as well. So let's go for long vocal plate. There we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Not too bad at all. 1, 2, 1, 2. Cool. What else have we got? Guitar, ambient, large. So that's a fairly large room, and you might put that on an instrument or a voice to give you that kind of tail at the end. So the main voice stands out clearly, as you can hear, but then you've got that tail off at the end where the sound of the voice is reverberating against the back of the room. Okay? So that demonstrates that. We're going to just mute D now. And yeah. A little bit of an insight into the plugins and the effects that you get with the mixing desk as well. So, yeah, if you want to find out any more about it, go to presonus.com and look for the Studiolive 32SC digital desk, and you'll be able to find out a lot more about it, which is really cool. Again, any questions, audio production questions, drop them in the chat, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, and I'll do my best to kind of get around to answering them if I can. And very often topics for this particular channel come up from your questions, so that's really good. Keep those coming in, and make sure you spread the word. If you've got people that you know like audio production for beginners, then make sure they check out the channel. Make sure you give it a subscribe as well. That always helps the channel. And click the bell icon as well. That will let you know when we go live next. Generally, it's a Monday night at 8 p.m. British summertime, which I know is 3 p.m. in the eastern section of the US and 12 noon in the Pacific West. So, yeah, hopefully that gives you the time zones that you're watching around the world. Obviously, in different locations around the world, that's going to be different, and you'll know what your own section will be. But certainly, right here, we're talking about British summertime, so that's cool. Good. Okay, well, I think that's pretty much done it. I'd like to say thank you very much indeed for watching. If you want to email me, you can do anytime. hello@loveaudio.co.uk is my email address. That'll come straight through to me, and I'll be able to answer that directly for you as well. Which says thank you very much. No problem at all. Thank you. And if you want to support me in any way, you can go over my Patreon page, patreon.com/loveaudio production. You'll find a free downloadable PDF for podcasting there. So that gives you an insight into what you might need to start your own podcast, or indeed improve what you already have, perhaps. Then get yourself over to there and download that for free. If you want to check out my website, then that's very easy. That's loveaudio.co.uk. Click on that, have a look around, have a wander around, see what I do, listen to some samples as well from my voiceover career and stuff like that. And yeah, be good to see you over there. Merchandise, of course, we have the t-shirts and the mugs. You can find those at loveaudiosmerchstore.com. And if you need spares for your studio, for instance, microphones, like you see behind me, hang on a second, let me go to main screen so you can see it. So we've got the Tascam TM80, which is a fantastic condenser microphone, XLR condenser mic, which is great. This comes with a stand as well, so it's really good for kind of podcasting. If you've got, yeah, there we go. So it's got a stand in there as well. So you unfold the stand. It's got an XLR cable, male to female, and it's also got the shock mount that comes with it as well. Okay, so you get a shock mount, you get the tripod stand for it, and you get the XLR cable and the microphone, of course, as well, which is in that little section there. Okay, so that's the Tascam TM80, currently on sale for £80, 80 UK pounds rather, 80 US pounds. And then yeah, that'll do. So the microphone that I use currently is the C1, and that's from Behringer. So that's the box it comes in. So that's the C1 condenser mic, studio condenser mic from Behringer. That's £30. Bargain, absolute bargain. And this is my old trusty microphone. This is made by the guys that make Marshall guitar amps. So this is a Marshall MXL 2001P. It's a large diaphragm studio condenser microphone. I've had it for about 20 years, and it's done me really, really well. So yeah, shame to let go of this, but I might be selling it. Not sure yet. And it's vintage. It's vintage gear, so why not? Pretty cool. What else can I tell you? So yeah, we had the lavalier mic on earlier, and I'm all tangled up with that. Some of it's wrapped around me, isn't it? I've got it on here still, haven't I? Look. Okay, where's that going? There we go. Under there, over there, through there, out of there, through that cable, which pulled the camera or the phone off of the desk, which it shouldn't have done, but it did. There we go. So that's the lav mic that we showed you earlier on. So it's a tiny little AKG lavalier mic just there. Okay, that's pretty cool. And that's the battery pack that comes with it. Focus. Will it focus? It's focusing on the human stuff, isn't it? I should get out of the way. There you go. That's a Perception Wireless PT45. And the box that controls that is plugged into USB. Not USB. It's plugged into XLR. And this is the box that controls that. So you've got a volume control on here, on-off switch. That's pretty much all it needs. And you can choose which channel it broadcasts on. Because don't forget, it's wireless. So, yeah, you have the option to switch channels. yeah, certainly a really good good sounding lav mic, you know, when it's clipped on and stuff like that, when it's done properly, which is good. Yeah, okay. Well, like I say, that's pretty much it. So thanks so much for joining. And you know, hope you can join me on the next week's stream. Which, by the way, I'm recording a lady tomorrow. She's going to be doing some more songs in the software here and through the desk, recording acoustically, microphone and guitar, and also some keyboard as well. And I hope to be able to feature a couple of the tracks that she's recording. We're doing about 7 or 8 tracks in total as this EP that was going to be released. And I hope to be featuring a couple of the tracks on next week's live stream. We're going to be recording tomorrow and compiling the kind of playlist, if you will, of those songs. And then she's going to help me choose 2 of the tracks that we can feature on the show next week. And it's all original music, so it'll be really cool. Hope you can join me for that. Really excited about that. And I will post earlier than I normally do with regards to that as an upcoming live stream. Okay, that'll be more like a premiere. And we'll get that on for you next Monday night at 8 p.m. UK time. All right. My voice is about to give out, so I'm going to say thank you very much indeed. Cheerio for now. And make sure you give the video a nice thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed, then please do so. And I'll catch you next time.